everybody, it's Professor Parish. I am down here. You can see my mouse is kind of circling. I'm down in the corner here. Hello. And this is English 109, week 3 already. Crazy, right? So I'm recording this on Sunday, so the start of the week. But I just wanted to preface by saying that so far, everybody that's turned in work for this week, you've all done a really great job. I've just gone through the discussion forums and I've made my own post and I've seen everybody's post so far. So if you have not posted in the discussion forum for week 2, or if you haven't responded to at least 2 of your peers, please do so by Sunday night at 11:55. If you've not turned in the textbook assignment number 2, make sure, let me switch this out. Okay. If you've not done the textbook assignment number 2 for week 2, make sure that you've done that as well. Everything's due tonight by Sunday at 11:55 p.m. But what I'm going to talk about is week 3. So if you go to your assignments page, I'm going to move this. You will notice there is a gray box here that talks about the assignments for week 3, but make sure each week that you scroll down to week 3, because it should be open now where you can read it, and it gives a much more detailed and thorough explanation of what's due for this week. So we are doing a discussion forum, and I'm going to tell you all about that. Posts will be due Friday for it. Responses to peers will be due Sunday. And then we are going to do our first grammar review, so I'm going to kind of open that up and explain it as well. As far as readings in our textbook, I really like some of your discussion posts where you talked about how the readings in chapters 1 through 3 have been helpful. I do think that this textbook does a really good job of not only making very clear and concise chapters, but also going into a lot of detail and offering examples. So I hope that you're taking advantage of that with the readings each week. For this week, it's just chapter 4. So it's pages 86 to 107. So it's about half of what last week's was. So it's not a long chapter. And I think once you get into it and see all the diagrams and charts and things that are listed, you'll be like, oh yeah, this was a really short chapter. But just make sure that you look over chapter 4 and that you watch this video. And we're going to talk a little bit too about the guidelines for the cause and effect writing assignment, which I'm going to go over as well today. There's not any assignments due yet for it, but I want to go ahead and go over that so that you can get some ideas of what you want to do. So the discussion forum for week 3, I'll pull it up here. We are watching a video for this week's discussion. I do like to incorporate some videos throughout this semester. I think that it's a nice change of pace from reading, but you're going to click on the link here, and that is going to take you over to YouTube. The video itself is about cultural appropriation. So if you don't know what cultural appropriation is, this video is going to explain it. And it's a pretty short video. It's only about 6 minutes long. It shouldn't take you very long to review it. But once you watch the video, I do have these 3 questions for you. 1, what is the overall thesis of the video? And as you know from our textbook activity number 2 that we did last week in week 2, you'll understand what a thesis is. It's just the main concept or point the author is making. What are the points of the video? So again, this is connecting back to the assignment that's due Sunday, this Sunday for week 2, the textbook assignment. And then 3, this is kind of your own opinion. Do you agree with the author of this video? Why or why not? As always, this isn't usually something that comes up, but I do ask that there's probably going to be some agreement and disagreement. There has been the last several semesters I've shown this video, and that's a good thing. I think it's healthy that we don't all have the same mindset. It's cool when we bring different ideas to the table and different viewpoints. So don't be afraid to disagree with your peers or agree with them. Just make sure that you do so in a very respectable and respectful manner. That way you don't put down any of your fellow classmates, be like, I can't believe they didn't agree with me. You know, just be respectful to them and vocalize why you agree with the video or why you disagree with it. Being specific and transparent is probably key on this. But as I said, posts are due Friday. At least 2 responses to your peers are due by Sunday at the latest. But that's the week 3 discussion forum. We also have a grammar review, which is something new for us. It is a Dropbox, the same thing that you've done like with the textbook activity, but the grammar review is going to be something a little bit different. It's more focused on specifically grammar related things. Move myself over here. I hate that it keeps popping that box up. Okay. So yeah, we're going to enable. So as you can see with the grammar review, this is going to take place between pages 419 and 420 in our textbook. So a lot of the grammar assignments are towards the back of the book, and that's where this one starts at. It's a really simple assignment. All you're doing is that in activity number 1 on page 420, you are identifying the subject of the sentence and the verb or verbs. Obviously, the subject is probably going to be a noun, a person, place, or thing, and the verb is going to be something involving action. Now, if you do have linking verbs, so if you have a verb that's like have been or have done, I have completed my homework, you're going to put have completed. So don't forget those linking verbs, the haves, has, was, is. Don't forget those if they apply to this assignment. But there's just 2 parts. It's doing the same thing on both parts. One's on page 422, one's on page 420. It should be an easy 20 points for this week. But again, when we go through grammar in this class, I want to touch base on everything. And so we're starting at the basics and then moving our way up. So hopefully everybody does really well. So far, the textbook assignments I've seen for week 2, everybody's doing great on them. Just be specific and be thorough, and you should be all right. Okay. So those are the 2 assignments that are due for grades, but we are going to start talking this week just reviewing the cause and effect writing assignment guidelines. We won't have an assignment due yet for them, but I want you to be thinking about what you want to write about. So I'm going to go to resources, this link right here. I'm going to go down. I'm going to look on this side where it says documents, and I'm going to go to week 3. Oh no. Scratch that. Oh no. I'm going to put it under our resources, so just hold on. Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to put this under our resources. So even though I'm opening it up early in this file, I'm going to put it on there so that you all see it when you watch the video. So when you watch the video, this document will be under resources. So apologies for that. I will make that correction right now. So what we're doing for our cause and effect is essentially chapter 10 in our textbook, which we're going to read next week in week 4, is going to talk about cause and effect. And really the idea behind it is just creating a paper that focuses on something that happens and what happens, something that is caused by various factors and the results of that. So there's lots of different topics you can pick for this. You can do like playing sports in college. What are the effects of that? You could talk about being a member of FFA in high school. What are the effects of that? Why would you do that? What are the causes of you being in FFA? Well, the causes could be because my family is really involved in agriculture, or I'm from a rural location, or I really like the competitions, or my friends are in it. Like those could be the causes, and then the reasons why, and then the effects of that are, well, this caused me to get a scholarship for this, or it helped me build knowledge of this, or it enabled me to gain skills as a leader doing this. I mean, you can Google cause and effect paper topics, and you're going to get a wide range of options. And chapter 10 in our book talks about that even more. So I'm going to put this under our resources just so you can see. This will also be the assignment for next week for the writing prep, and I will go over the bottom part next week. It won't be due. You're welcome to turn it in early if you want, but I will talk about this bottom part of the guidelines next week in week 4's video. But for now, you can at least kind of see what I'm looking for, and you can go ahead if you want to preview chapter 10 or Google some cause and effect paper topics and see what all is out there. But that's going to be our first paper, is a cause and effect. And I'm going to talk more about it next week, but I wanted you to go ahead and look at these guidelines and be thinking about it. And here, I'll show you. I'll go ahead and go back to regular view. And let me go to resources. I'm going to go ahead and add this while you guys are all watching. Yeah. Okay. So, paper number 1, cause and effect guidelines. And I'm going to say this is, I'm going to put it in week 3, introducing cause and effect paper and the writing prep. Okay. And I'll save that. So it's on there now. If you need to find it, it's going to be featured under there. Okay. Cool. So that's pretty much it for this week. It should be a really straightforward week, something to get you thinking about our first paper, and we're going to start our first grammar assignment and then our first video for our discussion forum. So far, everybody's done great on week 1 and week 2. Make sure you get week 2's assignments turned in tonight by Sunday when this week ends and week 3 starts. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Have a good week, everybody, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.